morning once again, dear students of class 10. And once again, after a long break, let's take up the trial scene or Act 4 Scene 1 of The Merchant of Venice, which we were doing last. So I hope you have the remembrance of whatever we have been doing in this scene earlier. So let us now scroll up to that page from where we should begin today's class. In case if people have forgotten, there is always the option to ask me so that I can provide you with the immediately previous video. So you can ask me in case if you have missed out something. I will be happy to provide you with the link so that you can watch the previous video. And now as you can see, we are once again in the trial scene of The Merchant of Venice. So I'm scrolling up to the page which we should be taking up today, and the page is page 128. In our previous class we had finished at the end of page 127. Now the Duke of Venice, that thou shalt see the difference of our spirit. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. So even before Shylock can ask for pardon or forgiveness, as now he is in a situation where he is facing the danger of having conspired to take the life of a citizen of Venice, and according to the law of Venice, he is supposed to be hanged to death or executed, and all his wealth and property is to be confiscated by the state, and one half of it is supposed to be given to the person against whose life he had been plotting. So as per the law, this is what is supposed to happen. So even before Shylock actually can beg for forgiveness, the Duke of Venice speaks up and he says that you should see the difference between your and our nature. We are kinder by nature than you. You are a Jew and you are a cruel man, whereas we the Christians are much kinder, and so we are showing you this generosity. That's what the Duke means to say here. The difference between your disposition or your nature, you can see the meaning is explained alongside on top, 382 line number. So the difference, that you should see the difference between your disposition and ours. Disposition means nature. So spirit or disposition mean the same. I pardon thee thy life. So even before you ask for it, I am forgiving you. I am forgiving you in the sense, I am not ordering your execution. That means your life is being spared. I am not ordering for your execution. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. And then as per the law, half of your wealth is supposed to go to Antonio, and the other half comes to the general state. The other half of your wealth is supposed to come to the state of Venice. That means the government is supposed to take the other half of your wealth. So let us be very clear about this, that one half of Shylock's wealth and property will be confiscated as a fine sort of a thing by the government. The other half will be given to the man whose life Shylock was trying to take, and Shylock will be hanged to death. This is the law. But the Duke is saying that I am pardoning you, and one half of your wealth is Antonio's, the other half will come to the state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine. So out of humility, we will try to be humble with you, and we will consider that half of your wealth which is supposed to come to us as a fine. Portia says, okay, so in what sense will it be a fine? It may not be the full quantity of half of Shylock's wealth. It will be only a fine. So the Duke is saying that you will get off with a fine. Portia says, A, for the state, not for Antonio. Yes, the amount or the amount of wealth which is supposed to go to the state, that should go as a fine, not the portion which Antonio is supposed to get. Is it clear, students? Please try to understand here. It's very important. You could be getting a reference to the context type question based on whatever is being said here. As I told you, the trial scene is very important, and very often extracts are given from the trial scene. So please understand very properly. If you have any doubt, you can ask me again in the Google Meet session which we have. So 1/2 of your wealth will be Antonio's, and that will not be used as fine, says Portia. Shylock says, "Nay, take my life and all, pardon not that. No, 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 I don't want to stay alive, please take my life. When you are not letting me keep anything, then why are you allowing me to stay alive? When you are confiscating all my wealth and property, then what is the use of staying alive? When you do take the means whereby I live, because you are taking away," so he says, "you take my house when you do take the prop. When you remove a pillar from the house, what happens to the house? It is demolished. It breaks and falls down because the pillars support the roof of the house. If you remove a pillar, what will happen? The roof will cave in, the house will collapse and be destroyed." So that is the example being used here by Shylock. He says that when you take away the prop or the pillar of my house, you actually take away my house, because my house is destroyed. So even if you take a portion of the house, the whole house is gone. Similarly, you take my life when you do take the means whereby I live. So in the same way, if you take away my means, that is my wealth, my property, then in a way you are rendering me dead. I am as good as dead. When I don't have wealth, when I don't have property, when I don't have the means to live or to survive, then what is the point of staying alive? Why don't you take my life also? So this is what Shylock is saying. Portia says, "What mercy can you render him, Antonio? See, now the tables are turned against Shylock. So far we have seen, a little earlier also we have seen, people were begging Shylock for mercy. Portia's famous mercy speech, that when you show mercy, it works like a double blessing, things like that. But now it's time for Antonio, if at all, that is, he wants to show mercy to Shylock. So Portia is asking Antonio, what kind of mercy or forgiveness can you show to him? Gratiano, even before Antonio can answer, Gratiano shouts. We know that Gratiano is the happiest right now, and he is a loud-spoken person, and he is always, very talkative, and he cannot control himself, and he says, "A halter gratis, a halter, give him a rope free of cost." Halter here means rope. Give him a rope free of cost, nothing else, for God's sake. Earlier also he has said that he has no wealth, no fortune, nothing left with him. Now he has to be hanged at the expense of the state. And now he says, give him a free rope. A rope with which he can hang himself to death. Nothing else, for God's sake. Please don't give him anything else. Antonio says, "So please my lord the duke and all the court to quit the fine for 1/2 of his goods. I am content, so he will let me have the other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter." So, says that, "I request the court, so please my lord, the Duke of Venice," with lot of reverence, lot of respect, Antonio addresses the Duke, and he says that, "Sir, if you allow me, and if the court allows, to quit the fine for 1/2 of his goods, then this 1/2 of his goods, that is his wealth and property, if it is not taken as a fine and is given to Shylock, whereas the other half, which I am supposed to get, I will be satisfied if Shylock allows me to give it to upon his death, that is when he dies, his wealth and property, everything will go to the gentleman who has recently eloped with his daughter." In a way, Antonio is meaning to say that he wants all Shylock's wealth and property to be handed over to Lorenzo and Jessica. So this is Antonio's request to the Duke and to the court. Two things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter. So there are two things provided more which are required to be done by Shylock. That first thing is that he should become a Christian with immediate effect, and secondly, here in this court he will be recording and signing a document, a legal deed of transfer of property right now, right here in this court, that whatever he dies possessed of, meaning to say at the time of his death, whatever he has, whatever wealth and property he has, when he dies, it will go to his son-in-law Lorenzo and his daughter. Lorenzo is referred as son. Son-in-law is also a kind of son. So this is what Antonio is trying to say. That at the time when he dies, all his wealth and property will be transferred to his son-in-law Lorenzo and his daughter Jessica. The Duke immediately says, we have come to page 129, the next page. The Duke says, he shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here. Yes, he has to do it. Otherwise, I'll take back, withdraw, recount the pardon, I'll take back the pardon which I have shown to him. The forgiveness which I have shown to Shylock, says the Duke, I will take it back, and he will be sentenced to death if he does not sign such a document and if he does not become a Christian. So these two criteria, these two conditions have to be fulfilled by Shylock. Portia says, art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say? Are you satisfied, Shylock, with the arrangement? What do you have to say? And Shylock says, I am content. Yes, I am content. What else can he say? He just says, yes, I am content. Portia says, clerk, draw a deed of gift. So clerk, prepare the document of transfer of his wealth and property. It's like a will. The document will be prepared, he will sign it, and the papers will then be given to Lorenzo and Jessica. They will not get anything for the time being, but when Shylock dies, Shylock cannot disown his daughter because she has married a Christian. Whatever he leaves behind will go to Lorenzo and Jessica. So that is what Portia is ordering the clerk to do. And who is the clerk? Obviously Nerissa, who is dressed as the lawyer's clerk. Both of them, you remember, they are in disguise. Portia as a lawyer and Jessica as the lawyer's clerk. Now Shylock says, I pray you give me leave to go home hence. I am not well. I request you, please give me the permission to go home. I am not feeling well. Send the deed after me and I will sign it. Please send that document after it is prepared. Send it to my home. I'll be there at home. I'll sign it. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not feeling well. The Duke says, get thee gone, but do it. Okay, fine, go. But make sure you sign it. Because if you don't sign it, then the condition is given already to Shylock. Then he will be sentenced to death. So, get thee gone, but do it. And Gratiano takes one last scope or chance to make fun of Shylock, to humiliate Shylock. In christening thou shalt have 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, thou shouldest have had 10 more to bring thee to the gallows, not to the font. When you become a Christian, you will be having 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, if I had been member of the jury, then I would have provided 10 more so that we could bring you to the gallows, that is the place where a prisoner is executed or a convict is executed. Gallows is the place where someone is hanged to death officially. So if I had been a judge, I would have provided 10 more godfathers so that I could have had a complete jury of 12 members, 2 plus 10, so that the jury would have given the verdict that you should be hanged to death and that you should not be taken to the font for baptism for becoming a Christian, rather than going to the font, rather than going to that platform where holy water is sprinkled on you and you are baptized and you are made into a Christian, converted to a Christian. Rather than allowing that to happen, if I had been judge, I would have ensured that you were put to death by hanging at the gallows. Now here the reference of the godfathers is actually a kind of joke which was very common during the time of Queen Elizabeth or during the time of William Shakespeare. Let's see the reference. It's given in your textbook. So you can see alongside, if you look to the corner, to the sides, you can see 414, that is line number 414. In Christening up to Godfathers, explanation is given here. Let's read. When a man is admitted to the Christian faith by baptism, what is baptism? It is the procedure by means of which a non-Christian converts to Christianity. So what is done? Holy water is used for sprinkling on that person. Okay, generally it is supposed to be the holy water from the river Jordan. Just like for the Hindus, water from the river Ganga is sacred or auspicious. For Christianity, the holy water comes from river Jordan in the Middle East. So anyway, when a man is admitted to the Christian faith by baptism with water, he has 2 godfathers. Generally, there are 2 godfathers for a man who becomes a Christian through baptism. Who are responsible? Now, who are the godfathers? They are elderly relatives or somebody close to the person who is getting converted to Christianity, who are supposed to or are responsible to see that the baptized man grows up, baptized man or the baptized child grows up as a good Christian. Godfathers, as I was telling you, was a common joke. Godfathers was also a funny name for the members of a jury. Okay, just like I'll give you one example. The police here in India are sometimes referred to as Mamu. Now the word Mamu is derived from Mama or Mamaji, which means the brother of one's own mother. But the police are nicknamed Mamu, especially by the miscreants, kind of code name, out of fun or jokingly. That is how they are referred to. So similarly, in Shakespeare's time, godfather was a term used for judges or the members of the jury. A body of 12 men, now this I have already told you while explaining the lines, that a member, that a body of 12 members in a jury, 12 men were needed to pass a sentence on a criminal. It is alluded or referred to here that a jury of 12 would have condemned Shylock to death. What Gratiano means to say is that if I had been judge, I would have provided you with 10 more godfathers. When you become a Christian, you will automatically get 2 godfathers as per rule of religion. If I were to be the judge, I would have provided 10 more so that we could have a complete body of 12 jury members, 12 godfathers. Jury members were also called godfathers out of fun, so that we could sentence you to death and not allow you to become a Christian. So this is what is the meaning of what Gratiano says here. So anyway, Shylock does not respond to that remark of Gratiano, exits Shylock, and the Duke says, "Sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner." So the case is over. Shylock is gone. The main man in question is freed, Antonio. And now the Duke, out of courtesy, out of formality, And the Duke is also very happy because Duke liked Antonio. So the Duke is requesting Portia, little knowing that she is Portia. The Duke is saying, I request you, sir, please join me for dinner. Please come to my residence. Now that's a big honor. The Duke of Venice is inviting Portia to dinner for having saved the life of Antonio. But Portia, she cannot stay back. She says, I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I really desire, your honor, I really desire your pardon. You will have to excuse me, sir. I must away this night toward Padua. This night, this evening itself, I must leave from Venice and go to another place called Padua. She is trying to show that she is very busy as a lawyer. She has another case to deal with in another town or city. So she says, you will have to excuse me because I don't have time. I need to go. And it is meet I presently set forth. And it is most suitable that I should immediately begin my journey. It is meet means it is most appropriate or suitable for me right now. Instead of staying back here for dinner with you as you have invited me, I have to begin my journey. I must go. So here we stop at the end of line 420 and the page number. Please remember our next video will continue from page 120, 130. 129 is finished and our next video tutorial will be a continuation from page 130. So with that we come to the end of today's video tutorial. I hope you have been able to understand whatever I have explained. In case of any doubt, as I told you in the middle of the video, you can clarify your doubts in the Google Meet session at the end of the class, and I'll be happy to answer your queries. So thank you very much.